Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2:30 time slot press conference. My name is David Fletcher. I'm with the Brahma Kumaris. And this press conference is called Shift Our Mindsets. NGO from India inspires a conscious shift in awareness to reach global targets. And we're going to get started in just a minute, but I know with the busyness and all the things going on around us, there might be lots of things buzzing around in our minds. And I'm going to just ask us to take a minute of silence, to take a deep breath, let some of those things settle down. Maybe just take an image in your mind of a pristine lake in nature, beautiful walk in the woods. Take a minute to catch your breath before we get started. So welcome again. This press conference is to release our discussion paper, which is called Awakening a Flourishing Future. And we have three panelists today, all from the Brahma Kumaris, with many, many years experience, who are going to speak to this issue. And I'll just mention them quickly, starting from my right. Valerian Bernard, who's a representative of the Brahma Kumaris at the UN in Geneva. Sister Maureen Goodman, who's a UN representative in Vienna and also program director for international programs of the Brahma Kumaris. And Juan Milling at the end, who's a UN representative previously for youth, but now on environmental issues. And very involved in many of the environmental issues of the association. So maybe I'll turn first to Valerian. And if you could say a little bit about who are the Brahma Kumaris and what are some of the practical actions they have been involved in around the issue of biodiversity. You have 5 minutes.
Hello, thank you very much, David. My name is Valerian Bernard, and it's my honor to be here with you this afternoon. First, I would like to say that Brahma Kumari World Spiritual University is an accredited NGO with general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. We also are associated with many other UN conferences, FAO, UNFCCC, UNEP, UNICEF, desertification, biodiversity. I was thinking that maybe it would be useful if I gave you a bit of an example of the work I do. I have been following for over 10 years the climate change conversations. And as a faith-based person, I feel it's really important that all of us faith-based people can meet and network together. So I have been the co-chair of the Interfaith Liaison Committee with the UNFCCC. And this work has started for a while, and we now are meeting every year, all year long, in order to bring to the negotiations and to the political table the voice of ethic, the voice of spiritual concerns, the voice of justice, of the most vulnerables, the voice of the need to change mindsets and awareness, the voice of people who have needs in terms of human rights and many other humanitarian necessities. And we collaborate with other FBOs, faith-based organizations, in order to make our voices stronger and bring the moral imperative of the many ecological and human crises, generating this way, hopefully, a proper governmental action and bring them into being accountable and supportive to the people. Brahma Kumaris is primarily an organization that teaches free of charge from all our centers in 120 countries. And we also go in different institutions when people require us to help them. We work on renewable energy for many years. It was the vision of our founder that living simply and treading lightly on the earth. We are vegetarian and we promote also the change of to veganism so that we do not encourage any form of violence against any animal, but also we contribute in that way to lessen the carbon footprint. We have projects that one of them is called Kalpataru, that is a very young baby amongst our university, and it is 1.5 million people, 1.5 million trees already have been planted. But the idea is not just to plant a tree, it's to plant a tree that has to do with the ecosystem that people are in. And we also teach them about the tree they're planting, how to care for it. And in that way, we bring people care for the earth and care for the environment at the micro level. Also, I will let my colleague here, dear Sister Maureen, speak on the farming. But there is so many projects we have been working on in many countries, and we are happy to tell you more about it whenever you want. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. The goal of a harmonious civilization is a very beautiful one, a very important one. And it is about relationships, relationship with the self, relationship with our human family around us, relationship with the earth, and ultimately relationship with the divine. But this is a relationship that is based on values: love, respect, compassion, humility. A relationship filled with values is then a very fruitful and productive relationship. And in the Brahma Kumaris, we understand the very profound impact that our consciousness has on our relationships. Of course, our relationships with each other, but definitely our consciousness has a profound impact on our relationship with the earth. And to illustrate this, I'd like to tell you a story. And it was how a particular project called Sustainable Yogic Agriculture began. And the Brahma Kumaris for many years in India have been running what they call de-addiction programs. So activities that help people to overcome their addictions, whether it's alcohol or drugs and so on. And they would work in different rural communities. And in one such project, one of the farmers certainly benefited hugely and was able to shift his awareness and mindset to be able to overcome his addictions. And at the same time, as a farmer, he could see that the land was very barren where he was. He was struggling with his agriculture. And so he thought, maybe if this shift in consciousness is so powerful that can help me to transform, can it have an impact on the land? And so he began to experiment by meditating on his farm, meditating when he sowed the seed, when the seedling was developing, and at different stages of production of his produce. And the results were quite remarkable. And he saw that there was much greater productivity, and the land became more fertile. And this then, of course, spread. It's a principle, but it's a principle that can be applied across the board. And so now there is a project, Sustainable Yogic Agriculture, as I mentioned, where there are thousands of farmers in India who meditate in the fields in this way and find, a huge difference in their farming. And of course, it's all organic and very much taking care of our precious biodiversity. And it's, of course, been studied by now organizations, universities, who have proved the greater nutrition as well as the size, volume of the yield. And so a right relationship with the land actually does impact our relationships across the board, because our relationship with the land is so fundamental, because it's Mother Earth who sustains us, who feeds us. And so I would like to recommend to you that you think about this principle in your lives and apply it to the self, to others around you, to the earth, to your activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sister Maureen and Valerian. Maybe we'll hear some more from you later. But right now, in terms of launching this discussion paper, Valerian mentioned that we've done a lot of work with other faith organizations, and we've certainly found the similarities and the commonalities that are held by many of those faith organizations and many other people that we've interacted with as well. But we wanted to put forward this discussion paper of some of our beliefs just to promote and stimulate more discussion and help people find that place inside, maybe where they get their motivation and their strength for doing this kind of work we do. And I think that's part of what this paper is about. So, Juan, could you tell us a little bit about the motivation for you in helping to put together this paper, Awakening a Flourishing Future, and what are some of the key elements of the discussion you want to put forward?
Thank you, David, and thank you everyone for being here, being present. And yes, so the idea behind the text, or the intention behind this text, was really to invite everyone to have an experience of something that has been there, and we have access, and we can have access at any moment. But I want to start by telling a story also, the story of the earth, that we many call the blue pill of the universe, or as many spiritual traditions, the paradise. And all this document is about changing mindsets. It's about how we look at things and how we see the planet Earth as sacred. Every component of the planet, the fungi, the soil, the plants, animals, all the different ecosystems around the world have a unique value in terms of the spiritual essence that they carry within themselves, but also the beauty and the sacredness of each of them, of those components. So when we add all those components, we see Earth as this beautiful planet, and we can see also biodiversity as the most valuable element of Earth's physiology, which is life sustaining itself through cosmic cycles, through time. And this serves biodiversity serves the most valuable all components, which is consciousness. And as Sister Maureen was saying, we need a shift in consciousness. So the idea behind this document is to explore the idea of shifting our consciousness and the bridge between two living systems that are a reality in this world. And also based on some areas of Dr. Roberto Assagioli, a psychoanalyst and psychiatrist from Italy, who in his practice realized the importance of recognizing the self, others can say the soul, and by aligning, by experiencing the soul and the self as an intricate part of our own well being, we can perhaps understand another dimension that is available as human beings, a dimension that through meditation, through contemplation, through prayer, we can access and allows to harness the spiritual energies or the spiritual technologies that are available at this moment to transform our minds, to enhance our well being, and to help us to open our hearts with more compassion and give us the power to infuse that into our awareness and ultimately into the actions and policies that are required to come to an agreement or to protect the biodiversity of the planet. So we came with this concept called ecosynthesis, which is a way to bridge these two dimensions, the physical world, the biodiversity, who is the most important element for our own personal well-being. But to complement this integral well-being, we invite everyone, or we are inviting everyone to explore this inner dimension where we can harness spiritual energy. And it's sort of like an spiritual archaeology, something that has been there for a long time, and we're rediscovering by unfolding and by meditating, by going within, we can unfold the reality that is within us, this dimension of peace, this dimension of silence. And ecosynthesis, again, is this attempt to bring all these pieces together to create more well-being, personal well-being, ecological well-being. All these components are sacred, are necessary for our well-being, and they're necessary to perhaps find different solutions and new technologies and innovation that is required to move forward in these decisions. And at the same time, it helps us to do this with more joy, with more compassion, and as we continue to open our hearts, new solutions and new ways are available to us. And I think I have experience with this, but I'd like to invite someone with much more experience and has gone deeper into this inner dimension, which is Sister Maureen. I would like her to have some words and perhaps an experience of this dimension that is so important for our well-being.
Thank you. So let us take a moment of reflection to have a deeper experience. And even though we're in the midst of sound, we can go on an inner journey. So relax your feet on the ground and a deep breath. And become present right here now. Present with yourself. And ask the question, who am I? I am a conscious being with thoughts and feelings and awareness. And at the heart of my being is peace. I experience myself to be a being of peace. I experience the peaceful loving nature that is my real identity. And in this awareness, I wish to serve the human family around me and the family of creation, of all the creatures, of the elements, of the earth itself. So from this space of peace, I send out vibrations of peace, vibrations of love, those feelings reach far and wide. And help to replenish the earth and bring the earth and humanity to help us to return to a state of harmony. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Maureen, and thank you all the panel members. There's so much more that I know can be said, both about the history of the organization, but particularly the projects that it's been doing around environmental and biodiversity issues for the last number of years. Much more on social transformation and personal transformation and the expertise that the organization has developed over the last 80 years in that area, and much, much more about awakening a flourishing future and how we need to probably start inside. That might be a radical thought, but start inside and nurture ourselves in order to make the changes we see in our relationship with others and with the outside world. But we don't have much. Yeah, we don't have more time now for that, but we do have some time to answer some questions and would be very open to questions from the floor. Anyone from the floor? Aditi, please, yes.
I love the concept of changing consciousness coming from this particular paper that you have, you're publishing here. What could be the barometer for an individual to understand that the change is happening enough and change is happening right? So, any thought process on this? Because everyone thinks that it has come from my conscience and what I'm doing is right. So
Thank you for the question. We are acting, all of us here, I know, according to our conscience. But where we begin to see transformation and awareness is when we are less impacted by the things around us, less influenced, and we are more influenced and impacted by the things that are happening within us. So, what is driving my action? Yes, it will be my conscience, but am I also allowing my feelings, my mind, my awareness to change because of what others are saying and doing and the situation? And then in that situation, I could even lose hope. But if I'm strong inside and my awareness is strong, the inner peace and love that is my natural being and inner wisdom will continue to guide me. And so this is how we will begin to know that, yes, transformation is happening. And usually as well, definitely there's a better flow in life, less resistance, because our inner being is creating an atmosphere where goodness can emerge.
Thank you very much. I apologize. Unfortunately, we have to get ready for the next press conference, but I invite you if you'd like to continue the discussion.
I just wanted 1 minute. May I?
Okay,
Thank
just
you.
1 minute.
Yeah. One of the other things that I find very important is that the more you go within and start experiencing the reality of spirituality, the more your intelligence starts to become active in different ways, and you get different ideas, you get different projects that you're interested with, you have a different way to relate with other people and with yourself. Thank you.
So we're very happy to carry on this conversation outside. Our time has come to an end, and we do have a summary copy of the paper that we're happy to share with people now. Thank you very much for being here.